I'm Chef Natasha Gomez. Hi everyone, welcome back to the kitchen. I'm Chef Natasha Gomez for those joining us for the first time. I'm a traveling chef and I live in New York. Today we're gonna have a fun recipe. Someone asked me earlier, how did I enter the culinary world? So my parents, I'm from the Caribbean, Haiti actually, Haitian. My parents had a restaurant early. I was maybe 8 or 9, and I was always in the kitchen with the cooks, and I love the smells. And my grandmother was both of my grandmothers on both sides of my parents, they were really good cooks. And even in my family back then, we even had a chef who studied in Le Cordon Bleu in France. So in my family, we are really big foodies. We love food. I have a very large family on my mother's side, and there's always a party at home. So my love for food came from that. I remember even when I was a kid, we even had party for our dolls. So I can tell you, food is my passion. I love food, and like I always say, it's the first act of love because when you have a baby, when you will have a baby, the first act is to give food to that baby. That's why they recommend mother's milk is the best food in the world. So food is love, food is life. Later, I studied catering and gourmet cooking. And I started really catering after my son was born because the caterer that I hired that day, she didn't deliver quite really what I wanted. And I said, no, I have to enter that world, that catering world. And I made a vow to always go beyond what my customer expect. So this is how I started in catering business. Later, I joined Chef Manifesto. Chef Manifesto is part of the United Nations because we know whatever we eat is good for our body, and we're trying to promote also crops that good for the planet as well, because we all know what is going on now with climate change. So you can join Chef Manifesto even if you are not a chef, because we are all working for a better future for food. Today, I love to say that I love to cook seasonal food. Why? Because it's less carbohydrate. So you have it here, it's seasonal and it's cheap too. So why cook something that is not available for the season and see your costs go really high? So that's why we're going to use pumpkin. There's different kind of pumpkin. There's the one that are really sweet, like the one you see in the back in the kitchen. And we have the cabocha. The cabocha is the green, really skin one. And it's with the cabocha that in the like Dominican Republic or Jamaica, in Dominican Republic for breakfast, for example, they do a dish called mazamorra. It's basically onion and that cabocha. The ginger soup also is for that. Pumpkin that we're going to use today is really good for your health. It has tons of vitamins and nutrients. So again, I'm going to tell you, if you want to cook quick, if you want to cook fast, you have to do a mise en place. A mise en place is having all the ingredients and all the utensils that you're going to use. So today we're going to use the pumpkin. I have some cube ones. We're going to use onions, shallots. Shallots is very French. It's like the little cousin of onions. We're going to use some tomatoes. We're going to use spinach. Spinach also, like the pumpkin, is part of the 50 future food that you can find the list at NOR and on Chef Manifesto also, because we promote all the 50 foods, superfood. We have cabbage. Cabbage is really important. You can use cabbage in your salads, in your soup, and in Haiti, there's no pickles, our spicy coleslaw without cabbage. And when you add cabbage to a dish, it doubles the nutrients that you have in the dish. We love green beans, fresh thyme. I always cook with fresh. Parsley, the Italian one, not the curly one. Red bell peppers and green bell peppers. We're going to use ginger also. And it's October. We have plenty, and we all know like the spices that we use with painting in America is really about nutmeg, cinnamon, allspice, and cloves. We're going to use that also. And to add a boost of flavors and nutrients to our food, we're going to put also some chopped almonds. And today, as a guest, my daughter, who has also a show, Cooking with Kiki, is joining me. She's going to help. Here's Keisha.
Also known as your prep.
Yes, she's the prep person every time I do a video. She's at Queen's College, also the best college that I really like. And like I always say, young people stay in school. Okay, we're going to use also oil, not much, but coconut oil. But I'm gonna ask Keisha to really clean our ginger. The way we clean ginger, you don't have to try to cut yourself with a knife. We're just going to use to clean it, to use a spoon, and it's the easiest way to peel ginger. Keisha, you can do that. You have your little station. Okay, I will be also using turmeric. We all know the benefits of turmeric. It helps boost your immune system. And with flu season coming, you should add some turmeric or moringa in your cooking. Turmeric is really good for you, but it's not really, it's not fast absorbing in your blood. So to use turmeric and to have the full benefits, you have to use some pepper, because the piperine in the pepper help boost the turmeric 2,000 times. So guys, please use that flu season. You will thank me, and it's good for the hair too. We use salt also, because which one ingredient that is common around the world? It's salt. And without salt, your food will be really bland. So please salt accordingly. Not too salty.
One time that being salty is a good.
Not too salty though. Okay, we're going to use cooked rice also, because that recipe is best using rice that was previously cooked, that is really cool. So if you have leftovers, so it's really good also if you use that, because instead of leaving the rice, so you have a second recipe instead of using the plain white rice. Isha, you were asking something?
Is there like a kind of grain that's better?
Since we are doing like roasted fried rice, I'm going to use the fries, but the rice, but we can really use cracked wheat. I think it will be quinoa will be really nice with that also. And I know there's a question that always come back is, how do you cook rice? How it doesn't come really mushy? And the easiest way to cook rice really is to do a rice pilaf. It's the word pilaf is from Morocco, so it's basically using. Okay, I was too fast on that. It's basically using some onions that and in some type of grease, any butter or olive oil or vegetable oil. But today I'm using coconut oil, like really 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. And it's basically, like I said, I'm chopping the onions. using some, let it cook for a few minutes. Yes, you can put it in the bowl. Just cook the onions until it becomes, you can see through it. Really, it's become really clear. And then you're going to add the rice. You're going to add the rice, white rice. Thank you. And for that recipe, I said 2 cups of rice, but 1 cup of rice, dry rice, should give you like almost like 2 cups. And the way to know the amount of water, we're going to like fry the rice until you smell the nuttiness of, it will come the nuttiness of the rice. And like I said, always season your food.
Every step.
Yes, every step of the way. And it's better to add mid cooking than to use too much salt that you cannot remove. You can take some water. I like to use hot water because that way the rice takes less time to cook and boil. Remember, I already have the rice. I'm just showing you guys the best way to not do mushy rice.
Because we don't do mushy rice in this household.
Okay, the best thing to know the exact amount of water you're going to put is to really cover I say 1 finger of water on top of the rice. It's enough. And when you do that, yeah. And when you do that, if your heat was on medium high, you can ask question also because Kisha will be checking her phone for that. You can put the water on medium high, and as soon as it starts boiling, you can lower the heat. And when you see that the water is almost evaporated, right? Like you're going to put it on the lowest setting on your oven and leave it for 15 to 20 minutes. And then you will have the perfect rice. Now we're going back to our pumpkin. And the best thing to do is to boil it also. Bring some water in. Okay.
Water boils it.
Yes. I'm going to put 2 cups of water. But it will cook for at least 15 minutes to have it really, to have our pumpkin really tender. But another trick that we have, because I know you're students, you don't have a lot of time, and some people don't like cooking, but we all have to eat. So it's really take a plastic container, put it like water just above the line of the pumpkin, and I'm going to show you. Just put it in the microwave for, do it fast. Just put it in the microwave for 3 minutes and it will be cooked. So 3 minutes versus 15 minutes is good. Just remember to cover the pot.
And what if you're not a pumpkin fan? Can you use butternut squash or any other of the squash families?
Yes, because there's a lot of variety in that. Butternut squash is good. The kabocha, like I said, is good. The pumpkin is good. So any type of squash. And you have to remember also, pumpkin is not a vegetable, it's a fruit. So you can use it also in dessert. Maybe I will send Dwayne. I know Dwayne is watching now. I will send Dwayne a recipe about a flan or crème brûlée, like we say in French, using pumpkin is very, very delicious. So we're going to cut our vegetables for the fried rice while our pumpkin is cooking.
And this recipe just comes in time because it's pumpkin spice latte time. So you can have a little pumpkin with your latte and just have the whole.
Going to cover our rice now so we can continue to cook. And we're going to cut also, I don't know if Kisha can do, we're going to use almonds because the nuts also have a boost of nutrients. Like I say, we're going to chop that and in
Food processor
or your magic bullet. If you, I'm not doing publicity for anybody, is that. So
no.
okay, we're using both red pepper and green peppers, both for color and flavor. We are from the Caribbean, so we like bright, bold, spicy, tasty. When I say spicy, it's not hot spicy, but like the good spice, tasty, flavorful. We're talking about flavor. And our show is all about flavors, really. And in the recipe that you will have, I don't know if Dwayne sent you the recipe from last week, but each, maybe we should put it in the comment section also. Each week after the live session, we will send the recipe and you can post them. And please, if you do them, tag me. I'm all over the social media, so let me know.
All over.
All of them.
How coarse do you want them?
Medium chop, that would be nice. I'm going to chop the spinach. I like really rough chop because when it cooks, it's a lot of its size because it's really water based. So if you cook it tiny, so you won't notice the spinach in the recipe.
That used to be my thing back when I started cooking. And I didn't know how to make things. I used to be like, no, this is rustic or rough chop. That was my way of getting away with it. Not the cutest plating.
I'm going to use that, but the first one that we use in the microwave, I will use it. And it's 3 minutes, it's already done. You can see the steams coming out of it. And I'm going to show you how tender is that. 3 minutes only. And you don't have to throw the water away because if you are going to do a soup, because if you divide that recipe by 2, you can do a soup also. That is really nice. And it's like the Haitian, we like soup jumu. It's very, very, I'm going to show you and I'm going to use my knife and you will see how tender is that. You see?
Ooh.
It just glide to it.
Ah,
Yes.
I'm the
It's very, and 3 minutes only.
So Anthony Van Cole is very shifted that pumpkin is a fruit. He didn't know that.
Yes, pumpkin is a fruit and everything is edible in the pumpkin because you can do like a gratin with the flour. It's very nice. The flour, I remember I do, yes. When you put ricotta cheese in it and you put it in the oven. And I did a soup shot with that. And even the leaves of the pumpkin are edibles. Mm-hmm. So we can do like a type of stew or Haitian with a legume. You do that. The same way you use collard greens, we use that.
You can use
for
the
them.
seeds, you can toast them, eat them as is, or you can even put them in a griddle.
Exactly.
That's
You see all the
right.
cheese? Say thank you, Mom.
Thank you, Mommy.
Oh.
And yeah, and I think anything with like seeds or ovaries is considered a fruit. That's why tomatoes is also considered a fruit and not a vegetable.
Exactly.
Yes.
I should say that every time.
Thank you, Mommy.
Okay, I'm cutting the green beans. And we're going to use fresh parsley, both for flavors and for garnishing as well. So
Try and
you
look
can,
at that.
yeah, you can remove it. I'm going to use the knife in front of me. So like I said, we'll have the cabbage, green peas. We're going to use thyme because thyme gives a lot of flavor in any type of dish that you have, and you really cannot use cooked lamb without thyme or
Butter.
yes,
And
rosemary, very nice.
butter.
Yes,
We love butter.
real butter, not
Real
margarine.
butter.
Yes.
Makes me happy.
The green bell peppers really give a burst of flavors. You can do roasted also if you put them in the oven for like 10 to 15 minutes until the skin is really dark. And then the fastest way to peel them is to put them in the like plastic bag and let it for like 5 minutes, and then the skin will just peel off. And the flavors are really, really good that way. Okay, I'm going to remove that. Big shout out to the Student Association. Also, we came up with that great idea because we are spending a lot of time home now, and what better time to know really how to add more flavor to our food. And that dish is really interesting because if you're vegan, if you're vegetarian, if you only eat meat or fish for 3 or 4 times a week, this is the dish for you. You won't miss any vitamins or nutrients eating that. So for me, it's one of the best way to eat what you really love and have really tasty food.
And trust me, as the resident carnivore of this house, I've had this dish before, and you do not miss the meat. You really do.
It can be used as a side dish if you want to eat meat or fish anyway, but this is really a very complete dish.
Anything that good needs to be honest.
I'm cutting the garlic. Remember the last time we had our live demo, I talked about don't throw away your garlic if it's spotting. Just cut it in half and remove the germ, because if you leave the germ, it will be really bitter. So you can just open it, put it on the side. Yes. Medium high. Okay, we're going to do our stir fry now. Maybe I could use that one. Our rice is almost ready. You can, when at that time, you can just fluff your rice and let it cook for 5 more minutes, and it will be perfect. Let me use that one so I can really see. You can do more stuff.
So Anthony asked, how long do you think you can refrigerate this dish?
For rice, it's really 3 to 5 days in your coolest section of the fridge. And if you are going to reheat it in the microwave, what I like to do is to like sprinkle a few drops of water. So because as soon as you put rice in the fridge, it stays for a day, it will become a little hard. So I like to put some water and always cover your food before you put it in the microwave. So that is good. So to do our stir fry, we're going to start coconut oil again, because we're not using butter because we want our dish to be really vegan. And it's always best when you use any type of dry spice to really cook that spice, because it adds more to the flavor of the spice. And it's like we say, it's really bloom. So waking up, yes, those flavors. So we're going to use the turmeric. It's one, you're going to receive the recipe, but it's really 1 tablespoon. You can add less if you want to. And we're going to add our shallots and onions.
I love it.
We're adding also our garlic. Really slice it first and chop it really finely. Yeah.
How much garlic are you putting? I tend to go overdose with the garlic. I love my things really garlicky.
Okay, garlic add nice flavors to any dish, but for that particular one, we're using 3 cloves of garlic. No, no, because pumpkin has a good flavor. It has a good sweetness to it. It really you can. I'm adding the beans because the beans are the focus.
Ooh, that already smells
Um,
fantastic.
Yes, it's very nice. Going to add the spinach also. I'm going to add the cabbage last because when you overcook cabbage, it gives you a really strong smell. So I will add it last. And cabbage is really good even if you eat it raw, so it's okay to put it last. I'm going to add,
It
yes.
doesn't go limp and you still have a bite to it, right?
Exactly. I'm going to add our rice. 2 cups of rice.
Ooh.
And as soon as I mix it really well,
That looks so colorful.
I'm going to add the spices of the season, which if you are listening,
Oh my god.
moringa, but the spices of the spice latte, what you put in it.
Pumpkin.
Yes,
What's this?
yeah, the spices, cinnamon.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're going to add the allspice, really teaspoon. Yeah. Allspice.
I love how she takes teaspoons and continues to put it in short. Caribbeans, use whatever you have, eyeball it. When Spirit says to stop, you stop.
Yeah. I'm going to add now the cinnamon. I already put the nutmeg. And I didn't say that, but when I was boiling the pumpkin, I did have the cloves, and you have to discard it because no one likes really to eat and find a big piece of cloves. And now I'm going to add the cabbage,
Yes.
like I told you, and finally the pumpkin.
A little saute.
Yes. This is a really, like I say, fun dish to do. And we're going to add the ginger that Keisha peeled earlier. Just
I did my hardest to it.
some, yes. It's very good. It was
Thank
really
you.
nice.
I love that.
Very clean. You can fry your ginger also. It will add more flavors, and it's a little bit spicy also, but the flavors that you have there. And like I told you, if you're using turmeric, you should use a dash of pepper because it boosts all the good thing you're getting from the turmeric. You can clean from the And like you say, it's really fun and fine dish. And you really get a lot. It's for 2 people. So if you're doing it only for 1 person, you can always save it for later. Just freeze it and let it cool down in the refrigerator and like I said, use it. Now we're going to use our almonds. Like I said, the almonds that Kishan just chopped. It gives the nuttiness flavor that we were looking to add to the pumpkin.
Extra crunch. We love
And
textures
exactly.
and layers.
So you have sweet, salty, the crunchiness, the colors. It's really nice. So our rice is ready. Like I said, this is a really fun recipe. So we're going to use our bowl, our special bowl for that.
It's the fruit bowl.
We have a special bowl today, and we're using that bowl because it's like
pretty.
it's waiting for us.
It's pretty.
And it symbolized something for me. This is October. This is the month that we really tell our wonderful mother, sister, cousin, aunties to get checked for breast cancer. So we are using that. It's basically for me, it's Ron, it's the world, and it's a woman. So women power. So we are who wants the world. So our rice is ready. We're going to scoop the rice. And it really smells good. It's fun. It's easy. And we're going to add more almonds on top. Really, I can wait to try it. So, guys, this is our dish for today. You will have the picture and the recipe soon. Dwayne has to send you that. And thank you again for our second time. And I cannot wait for you to be with us for the third one.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, like you can call us out there. Eat.
Yes, it's good.
Just a happy dance.
Yeah. So see you soon, guys.
No, ginger.
Yeah, the ginger with the Asian flavors. Yes.
Just me dancing because I don't know how to leave.